Whew, what a crazy day. Welcome, guys. If you're watching on the replay, welcome. I already got a couple people up and ready for the stream, so thank you guys so much for waiting. I really appreciate it. I am so tired, but I have so much stuff to get through with you guys tonight, so I'm really excited. If you're on the replay, we're going to be going through today and just talking about the updates of what happened today. Today is the 28th of September. So we're going to be talking about a lot of updates that were happening. I was really expecting this to be not really an update kind of a day, but here we are. And then we're going to take some calls. I'm thinking we're going to do it via Zoom. I tried to get StreamYard going, but still working out the kinks in the back end. So hopefully next stream I will be coming to you guys live from StreamYard's system. So I'm really excited about that. And hopefully that'll be kind of the end of the bumps in the road of getting the stream together. So let's get talking to what's been going on. So a lot's been happening. Gabby's parents had an entire um press conference, and that was really interesting. I was not aware. I guess I missed the update. But they went live today at 1. I was luckily watching, or listening to, I should say, mainly the WFLA live stream during the day right before 1. And so I was able to catch it really quick, and I did listen to the whole thing. And ooh, people were really getting emotional about it. Rightfully so. It was like a very emotional moment. So I'm gonna pull that up for you guys really quick if you guys want to get chatting in the chat, and we can talk about your comments. And in the meantime, I need to get some things going for you guys. So just 1 second. Let me pull up the WFLA live stream. I was hoping to get this a little bit better for you guys, but that's okay. We're gonna run with it. Um, we're learning real time, so that's okay. All right, so here we go. Ooh, okay, of course, we got a commercial. Of course. All right, let's just let this commercial run through really fast. All right, I just want to make sure. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Can I get a 1 in the chat if you guys are hearing and seeing me okay? I just want to make sure. Okay, looks like you guys can see me. So thank you guys for joining me. And just one more thing, and then we can hop right to it. That is not it. Come on. All right. And all right. So here we go. We got the press conference stream, and let's get into it.
Good afternoon. From the moment Nicole called to report that Gabby was missing, the worst fears of any parent played out before our eyes. That nightmare became a reality when the Grand Teton search and rescue team located their beautiful daughter. During that time, they had an outpouring of love and affection and sympathy from not just their family and friends, but from the law enforcement community, the press, and from people around the world. And for that, they thank you. They've been given the time and the space to grieve this awful loss. And we ask that you continue to respect their privacy and give them the space and time to go through this difficult process. Gabby Petito was a beautiful woman. Her infectious smile and love of life made people gravitate to her. Gabby Petito loved life, loved people, and loved experiences. She was the bright light in everyone's life that knew her. Gabby's family does not want that light to dim, and they want to make some good in this awful tragedy. That's why they're starting the Gabby Petito Foundation. I'm joined today with Joe and Tara Petito, Tim and Nicole Schmidt, and close friend Gary Ryder. We're going to make some statements, and after that, we're going to take some questions. Just wanted to say thank you to everybody that we encountered out west in Wyoming, all the law enforcement agencies out there and across the country for doing an amazing job with locating Gabby. Especially want to thank the Teton County Search and Rescue Team, who is a all-volunteer agency that come together. They were highly trained, and they were a part of that mission to find Gabby, and they did an unbelievable job. We're so grateful for everybody out there. They were second to none. They were unbelievable. We are forever grateful for that, and everybody back home who helped us as well. It was amazing that we were able to get her. Just happy to have her. How you doing? I'd actually like to thank all you guys. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the media, press, especially the people that are behind the camera. All right, they don't get enough credit for what it is that they do, and so I do appreciate all them. Social media has been amazing. So I just like to thank everyone, for that. I do. It is greatly appreciated that.
So I'm gonna pop in the chat right now the Gabby Petito Foundation website link. It is their official link, and what they are collecting donations now for the upcoming foundation that they are starting. They are still getting all of the details sorted out as to how they want to proceed with it, but generally speaking, they want to help other people who have missing loved ones, and so I think that's really commendable. Some more information in case you guys aren't aware. The first gentleman who spoke is Gabby's stepfather, who went out to Utah to go look for her. The second gentleman who's speaking now is her father. Pretty sure he went out to Wyoming, maybe, but I know for sure her stepdad went out to Utah.
It's very helpful in bringing our daughter home.
So we're gonna watch a little bit more of this, but I really commend everybody in the situation because they really are very put together. They have an excellent level of decorum in this whole thing. They are very respectful through the whole press conference, and they have been this whole time. And you'll hear Gabby's father talk more about social media and how he appreciates the help of the social media people and the news, and talks a lot directly to the media. Actually, I really want to find that moment because it was such an impactful moment. I'm gonna speed this up just a little bit.
I don't think we can thank everybody enough.
That's Gabby's mom. That's Gabby's stepmom.
Foundation, and we help the missing. We're putting her poster out there. It reached over 2 million people within 48 hours, all over the world. And I especially want to thank Detective Tracy Barry of 5th Precinct here in Patchogue. Because without her, we don't know when this would have even happened. She got the ball rolling. She's my angel, and I thank her the most. Thank you. At this time, we'll be taking questions.
Dr. Burns, NBC News. The hashtag Justice for Gabby has been trending. You mentioned how much social media has been helpful in locating her and in this investigation. What does justice for Gabby look like from your end?
Can we answer that? Yeah. Justice for Gabby is that we see justice for her homicide. The FBI has classified her death a homicide. They are the premier agency in the country. They're investigating her death, and we believe through their investigation, we will have justice for Gabby.
Rick,
Yes.
We haven't heard from the Laundrie family. We haven't been able to hear much from the FBI. They can't share a lot with us about Brian's whereabouts. Is there anything that you can tell us about the efforts to find him, what the family thinks about where he might be, and the family silence?
Again, for the Laundrie's silence, the Laundries did not help us find Gabby. They're sure is not going to help us find Brian. For Brian, we're asking you to turn yourself in to the FBI or the nearest law enforcement agency.
That part killed me, and everybody I know online was freaking out. I don't know about y'all, but just the attorney saying that was like, honestly, this entire press conference was just like, whoa. I see some more people are joining in right now. Thank you for joining. Let me know if you guys want to hear or see anything in particular, or if you want to join, drop me a comment. People who are interacting more, I will go ahead and set up the Zoom for y'all.
Yesterday, the Laundrie family released a statement saying that Mr. and Mrs. Laundrie are not helping Brian get away.
That really bugged me that they kept zooming into their hands. Like, leave them alone. Leave them alone. So I felt really rude.
That's for the FBI to investigate. I believe that they're the preeminent law enforcement organization in this country, and I know they're investigating all avenues of this case.
Can you, Trevor, you touched on trusting the FBI here. Does it bother the family at all that Brian Laundrie is still not named as a suspect in Gabby's disappearance?
The parents are 100% happy with the FBI. They've been with us at every single step of the way, and we know that they will bring justice for Gabby.
Yes. From CNN. Can you or the family talk all about describe what kind of contact you've had with the Laundrie family since early September, and what your previous relationship was like with that family while Gabby was
We're not going to talk about the relationship between the Petito, the Schmidt, and the Laundrie family. The Petito and Schmidt family have spoken with the FBI, and they've requested that we don't discuss any relationship between Gabby, between Brian, or between the three families.
The foundation, yes, don't want the light to go dim. So, what will the foundation do to keep that light shining?
We're just hoping that through our tragedy with losing Gabby, that in the future that some good can come out of it, that we can help other people that may be in a similar situation, reach out to these other organizations that do similar things and find out what's missing. What can we do to fill that void? What can we do to help people? Just from the Aware Foundation alone and reaching 2 million people, they told us that other law enforcement agencies are now starting to look back at other missing persons cases and starting to reinvestigate them and look into them. And we're just hopeful that we're able to help people in the future, just try to get through something similar.
In the vein of not letting the light grow dim, I noticed mom and dad have some new tattoos that resemble.
This part killed me and so many people. I would love to hear you guys' thoughts about this.
I plan to have her with me all the time.
Oh my gosh.
I feel it. This helps that.
They all got, hold on, I have screenshots of it because it's going to be a lot easier than trying to show you through the video, and they take a long time to be able to show it. But so Gabby, on her arm, if you guys have seen her photo, she had Let It Be with a little wave like icon on her arm, and she also had like a flower tattoo on her bicep and an ivy on her hand. So the four of them, which is so sweet, it is her biological parents and her two step parents on each side, and they all got tattoos in her honor, the tattoos that she had. Some of them got like 1 or 2 or all 3 depending on the person. But here's her stepdad. They all went last night and they all got it together. And his says Let It Be, and he's got the wave on his arm. Her dad got that plus the ivy that she's got on her finger, and there you see, I'm not sure which one is her mom, to be honest. I'm gonna guess that's her stepmom there, and she's also got the Let It Be and the flower tattoo. And I think both of the women got the flowers when the men didn't. Let's see. Yeah, both of the women got the flowers in the triangle tattoo. So, ouch. Ouch. I don't know about y'all, but ouch.
here's the end all, right? We need positive stuff to come from the tragedy that happened. All right, we can't let her name be taken in vain. We need positive stuff. All right, so anything that we can do to bring that up and help people, that's what we want. I'm not going to talk about it.
Yes. When you think about the community coming together, I mean, even at the memorial almost every day, you have people coming from all over Long Island, from Montauk to the West End, because they all say they have a connection to Gabby. Like somebody said, she reminds him of her son, and things like that. What does that mean to you? She's just drawn emotions from so many people over the country. I mean, I'm sure, and your Blue Point community handles people. Like, can you just step up and possibly respond to that outpouring and what it's meant to you?
Ouch.
I respond to that. I just hope that people are inspired by her. And it's
Just
hard
ouch.
for words, but it means a lot to me that she's touched so many lives already, and it's only 2 weeks into it. And I'm so proud of her for doing this, and we're gonna keep it going. Like you said, keep the light going and help a lot of people if we can.
And will the foundation just be for missing children or missing adults as well? I think it said children.
We're still working out. This has only been a few days, so we're still working that out. We want to help in any way we can. I just want to add to the last question that we've received letters, emails, cards from all over the world, from Australia, from Europe. We had people from Italy. We had people at the funeral that came from as far away as Texas, as Florida, as California. So people from all over the country have called and sent their well wishes.
Can you confirm that the fraudulent activity Brian's been charged with was that against
That's something you're going to have to talk to the FBI about. That I know that they have unsealed an indictment, so I believe they would be the best agency to deal with that.
There's a question for Joe. Joe, you mentioned social media. Can you tell me, do you feel obviously that the outpouring of people all across the world with tips coming in that social media helped find Gabby?
This is such a crucial moment in this interview section.
Social media, the video she made, everything else.
I don't want to dismiss the ridiculously hard work that the FBI and law enforcement all around did, but social media has been amazing and very influential. And to be honest, it should continue for other people too.
Thank
The
you.
same type of heightened awareness should be continued for everyone.
Exactly.
For you all too.
Joe, your words at the memorial service.
Heck yeah, Joe.
To many people. And I'm wondering if you've heard from people who heard your words about being inspired by Gabby's life and also leading bad relationships.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Again, we've received messages
Sorry,
from
guys.
individuals on
Real-time
communities
craziness.
since we started the foundation, and
So,
there's some that were really personal. But at this point, we're not going to get into that.
Has the family spoken with Jen Bethune, the woman who took the video of the dam?
We've spoken with numerous people that gave tips to
Hey!
the FBI to us.
So they have spoken with Jen Bethune?
I believe they have.
my best friend just entered the chat. Hello, welcome. Stop it with that. Drives me crazy. Why they gotta be showing other people's
Just
hands?
like we ask
Oh
for
my
help
gosh.
to look from everyone that if they see Brian Laundrie or any information on that, we're asking that they call the local law enforcement or the FBI. We welcome everybody's help to find him. And if you have any information, we're asking that you call the FBI tip line.
I want to find. Hold on. There's a moment where Joe speaks again,
We felt it was important to come home, so we
and it was really great because he literally calls out the media.
The world to help lead you to Gabby and find Gabby. You have a similar plea for the world to help you find Gabby.
I want to help. I want to ask everyone to help all the people that are missing and need help.
Yes,
And
Joe.
as I said before,
Yes,
it's on
Joe.
you, everyone that's in this room, to do that.
Yes.
And if you don't do that for other people that are missing, that's a shame. Because it's
Heck
just fair that
yes.
deserves that. So look to yourselves on why that's not being done. And with Brian, that's our focus is still on.
Okay, I'm gonna end it there because, like, I literally was sitting at work with my earbuds in, doing my thing, and listening to this, and I wanted to jump out of my seat when Joe said that because it is so true. It is so true. There's so many missing persons cases that happen every single freaking year. So many. And I literally did the math. 1,500 people go missing in this country a day. A day. Okay? And when do you ever see missing persons cases actually end up on the news? Like, actually broadcasted? Never. 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 It's so rare. you know, this case has really been shedding a light on missing persons cases, and I really appreciate that. And this keep the same energy, as so many people like to say online. Keep the same energy. Continue this. Like, let's not play this game. And it was so interesting because I was watching the stream, and later in the stream, WFLA, one of the people, like one of the journalists, like comments and kind of tries to defend the situation, and I'm just like, stop trying to save your own butt. Like, stop trying to make yourselves look better. Stop it. Because we all know the real situation. We all know that unless it's getting ratings, you're not showing it. Like, come on. Like, let's not play dumb here. Oh, it was so, like, I was just like, come on. Like, I hope you genuinely believe what you're saying right now. Like, in the defense, and it wasn't like that she knew damn well that that's not like the full reason. But it is what it is. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and open things up. I'm gonna start a meeting so we can start taking call-ins. So and nope, that's not. Come on. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop the Zoom meeting link into the chat box. So if somebody wants to join in, wants to hop on, have an opinion, thoughts, feelings on this whole situation, I really want to get people's opinions on the dog the bounty hunter situation, because that's been a huge mess, and we're gonna get into that. Okay, let's not hear me in double time. So if anybody wants to join the Zoom, you're more than welcome to. If you start getting rowdy on the Zoom, I'm cutting you off. You know, of course, we need to all stay respectful in this. So let's make sure we keep it respectful. So we are going to. All right. That is all set. So if people want to join the Zoom and have a full discussion, in the meantime, while we're waiting for people to come on, I will talk a little bit about the dog, the bounty hunter situation, because that's a whole nother mess. Have you guys been seeing that? Because it's a whole nother mess. So essentially, the dog, the bounty hunter situation is that dog got a very hot tip about the whereabouts of the Laundrie family on their those there ended up being 2 camping trips, because that was a question this whole time as to like when they were gone, how they were gone, what was up, what was the whole deal. And when Brian came back from Wyoming suddenly after Gabby passed away, which he returned to Florida on the 1st, and from the 1st to the 3rd, as per Dog the Bounty Hunter, from the 1st to the 3rd, and then the 6th through the 8th, the Laundrie family had camped at a campground. They had 2 different spots that they ended up in, like one time versus the other. And that's where they went. And it is something that law enforcement hadn't said publicly. Pinellas County, which is the county that the campground is in, just put out a statement saying, we don't know anything about Brian being seen there. We're not investigating anything. We're going to defer to the FBI and North Point police, who have been spearheading the investigation. And so that was a whole adventure to hear that. And then all of a sudden it came out that there was in fact proof that Brian's mom was at this campground from at least from the 6th to the 8th. There is confirmation of that. So if somebody wants to jump in the Zoom call with me and talk about it live on air, I won't be showing your face, but I will be playing your voice aloud. We can definitely talk about that, and it'll be really interesting to hear your thoughts, because that's been my big thing for today, was the situation with Dog and how people are now saying, this could really, really, really interfere with the investigation and could be a serious problem. Which it could be the case. I mean, there could be a reason why, like, you know, people are acting as if, oh, the FBI must have not known about this and Dog must have found out on his own, and oh my god, they look really ridiculous. But at the same time, it's funny, somebody's like one of my friends is messaging me about it right now. Um but we don't know that for sure that the FBI didn't know about this. Like, they could have known about this and been keeping it away for one reason or another. And somebody did explain, you know, there are often times that any law enforcement, they are gonna keep stuff to themselves for many reasons, mainly to protect the integrity of the case. Now that this location has been disclosed, tons and tons and tons of people are going to this campground and making a freaking zoo out of it, and the media is going out to this campground, and that's going to hinder the case. And people have been talking a lot about how, yes, Dog, like, some people are on the stance that Dog the Bounty Hunter, him coming on is a great thing, and some people are of the stance that him coming on could really, really, really damage this entire case and ruin it. So I'd love to hear what you guys have to think, what you guys think, what you have to say. So if you guys want to join me live, you can just click that last link that I posted and you can join me and we can talk about it. Let's see what's going on. So what else has been going on? I really want to play stuff for you, but it's hard because StreamYard let me down a little bit today. Um, but I think, can you guys still see me? Because it seems like something's funky going on with the stream. I feel like everybody's feeling a little bit shy today. I'm not really sure what's going on. Um, but I think that, does anybody want to jump on the Zoom with me and talk live about the whole situation and maybe give your opinions on the dog thing, about the press conference, maybe about the whole case in general? The one thing is, we're not assuming anybody's guilt. That's my big rule, is not assuming anybody's guilt in the situation. But yeah, let's see what else has been going on. Let me double check my Google Doc. Like I said, if somebody wants to join me on the Zoom call and talk live, you can go ahead and just click that last link that I posted and we can talk literally live on the stream. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up my notes. I have a running timeline of things that are happening on a daily basis with this case. It's been a madhouse with this case completely. This doesn't seem like that was not the right Google. Come on. Let's get this document. But yeah, if anybody wants to join me live on Zoom, you can just click the link and we can talk about it. But yeah, I think that the two major things have been the press conference and the Dog the Bounty Hunter thing. I didn't think anything was going to come out today, so that was pretty insane and interesting. Let's see. It was funny because I ended up playing the video, but I wrote down a bunch of quotes. Oh, the other thing that's been happening is that, as per WFLA, seemingly nothing's really happening at the Carlton Reserve today. So that's been crazy. My aunt just jumped into chat. Hello, welcome. We're talking about Brian. If you want to join us, you can and talk live with me on the stream. You can click the link, the last link that I posted. She says, I didn't get to see the news. So a recap, if you guys are just joining me, essentially the recap is all of the parents of Gabby, which is her biological parents and both of her step parents, were had a news conference. there we go. They had a news conference today with their attorney present talking about Gabby, the fact that they have now officially started a foundation in Gabby's name to help missing people, our families with missing loved ones. They're still working out the kinks, but they have a website up. They're taking donations and they're trying to figure out the structure of it as things go. Apparently, they were actually asking for donations in lieu of any kind of flowers or anything like that for memorial services, which I think is very smart. Um, and then they also showed their tattoos. They got Gabby's tattoos that she had on her tattooed on them, which was, I thought, a lovely sentiment. And then one thing I really appreciated about the news conference is that one of the parents, Joe, actually stepped up and they all took turns, except for one person really didn't speak. But I would imagine it's because they probably didn't feel you know, the ability to speak. They probably were just, too emotional for that. But so they all kind of spoke and thanked different people. They were thanking, law enforcement, and they were thanking the first police officer that helped get the ball rolling, a police officer named Tracy in Blue Point, New York, who really took things off the ground. An organization that helped spread her photo everywhere. Um, but my favorite thing was what Joe said, and I thought was such a great point. He had so many great points. But so he thanked law enforcement and he said, I don't want to take away at all of the hard work that the law enforcement has done. I do want to thank though the media and especially social media for getting involved and bolstering all the efforts. They have done so much. And later in the stream, he kind of called out the media and literally was like, I'm talking to all of you in this room right now. You guys need to help. You guys need to help other missing people. What the attention Gabby's gotten, other people deserve. And I wanted to get out of my seat and start cheering, start screaming. I was so excited because I thought that was excellent. That was excellent because I think that's what I've been saying. That's what other people in the stream have been saying. We need to champion these other missing persons cases. I see a lot of people have been kind of coming in right now, so thank you for joining. If you guys want to join me live, you can click the link, the Zoom link, and it'll take you straight to me, and you can come on air with me and talk. But so that was happening. Yes, exactly. Congrats, cheers, cheering on Joe. Heck yeah, I thought that was excellent sentiment. They are really pushing this foundation. Joe was the one saying we need to make something positive out of this whole situation. I appreciate Joe. I think he had excellent sentiments. I think they all did. Like I said, they all got Gabby's tattoos on them, which I think was really beautiful. And they actually last night all went together to a tattoo parlor and all got the tattoos together. And I think that's just a sentiment, such a tour de force and showing that like these parents, her parents have been divorced. They got divorced, they're being remarried. But it really shows, I think, the character of these people and how they have all felt this whole time. And the love and support that Gabby has gotten. And it was great to hear them. They were like, at one point they said, we have co-parent, the four of us have co-parented Gabby all these years, and that's not going to stop now. We're still her parents, we still love her. And that was just such a beautiful sentiment, in my opinion. I think that to me was the best part. Nobody was talking about that moment. I don't feel like they were talking about all of them getting the tattoos, but not that moment of them talking about co-parenting her. I think that was beautiful. So that happened. That was that end of it. The other end of it was Dog the Bounty Hunter has put out information that he's found a lead as to where the Laundrie family were when they took a camping trip after Brian came back, which apparently, according to Dog, allegedly there was two separate camping trips that happened immediately after Brian came back. Literally the same day, he's alleging that the same exact day that Brian came back, they went on a camping trip. They were at that camping trip from the 1st to the 3rd of September, came back, went back again from the 6th to the 8th on this camping trip. And that he allegedly found the place. And now there's been confirmation. But so there's a big discussion now about if Dog the Bounty Hunter doing this stuff is gonna ruin the case for law enforcement. So I'm very interested to hear everybody's opinions on that. I definitely have an opinion on that, and it's pretty split. It's so hard. I've seen people split right down the middle. Either they love Dog, they appreciate him, they think he's dope as hell for doing this, they think that he's the best guy, and that, they're cheering him on and they're saying, hell yeah, Dog, you're gonna find him. Look at the FBI, they're gonna look like clowns if you find him first. Dog's gonna find him. Like this kind of rah-rah sentiment behind Dog. And then there's other people who think, well, Dog's the clown, and he's self-interested. He's that kind of camp. And then in that kind of teeter-totter of the negative side towards Dog, there's been he's gonna ruin the case, and him putting this information out, maybe the law enforcement knew about this and they were holding this back because they didn't want to have an issue and they didn't want to have the media circus. And sure enough, the name has been put out. I'm not going to say the name of it because I'm not going to add to that. But the media circus has already started over there, and the general public are already going out there and looking for him and whatever. And there's this big debate online of, let law enforcement do their thing. But even more so, it's like, I want a piece of that action. And I've been seeing people online championing that and saying, you know what, the more eyes the better. That's the reason that there is a there's that $170,000 total reward, which I understand to an extent, but I think there's a fine line. There's a line between keeping an eye out and maybe if you have information coming forward, and doing things where you're inserting yourself and potentially messing the investigation up. Because if somebody and this was such a good point that I saw somebody make who's got experience in this, is if somebody else kind of intervenes and finds the information before law enforcement, it opens the door for defense. It opens the door to say, how do we know that that person didn't tamper? Oh, well, it wasn't there. That evidence wasn't there. That doesn't make any sense. How do we know the credibility? The chain of credibility is broken at that point because the police weren't the first ones. And so it's really a difficult situation. And some people are thinking that what Dog's doing could end up really harming the investigation a lot more. So it's one of those things where I hope that Dog starts to tread a lot more carefully, but I don't think that he is. I don't think that he is based on his actions. He's been very quick to speak to the media about his investigation and about what he's doing and what he's finding. And it's an instant tweet. It's instant tweet from his daughter. So I would love to hear you guys' opinions on the whole situation. It's kind of a mess right now. Like I said, the Zoom call is open, so if anybody wants to join in, they can. And then the other piece of info that's been going on is that it looks like WFLA, they went up in the helicopter and didn't really see any activity, any search activity from the Carlton Reserve. So, who knows what's going on. It says Dog showed up at their home. Yes, Dog the Bounty Hunter showed up at their home a couple days ago, and with the warrant and trying to talk to them, and one second. Can we not do that? Actually, we're just gonna block. Yeah, so he showed up at their home. He went ahead and started knocking, started, kind of yelling at them, talk to come out kind of a thing and talk to him. And apparently they ended up calling 911 on him, but I think he left before 911 even like really showed up or anything, so there wasn't an issue. But after that, he started his investigation, and he is saying that he found the location where um Brian's family and him went and camped after he came back from Utah and Wyoming without Gabby. So, and there's been some confirmation that his mom checked in, like the ledger is there of her checking into this campground. And the media is also pointing out that there is a Sun Pass toll right where you get off to get to the campground. I don't think there's a way around it. And so there's going to be evidence there of whether or not they were there. So that'll be very interesting to see what happens with that, but it's a little bit of a mess, and I hope that this doesn't cost the investigation for law enforcement. Um Kay Briggs just joined the chat. Welcome to the chat, and is speculating that Roberta Laundrie, which is Brian's mom, bought a burner phone. I mean, anything's possible. I try not to speculate too much on my stream, but thank you for joining. Kay said, "Why would they go camping during such an awful time?" Your guess is as good as mine, and we're not gonna find out, and we may never find out, but hopefully somebody answers some questions soon. But it's a big fat mess. So what Dog the Bounty Hunter is alleging is that from the first of September was the day that Brian officially, the official timeline says Brian arrived back in Florida, back to his parents' house on the first, and without Gabby. According to Dog the Bounty Hunter's timeline, the first to the third, they went and visited this campsite. They stayed at this campsite. They went back home for a couple days, and then from the 6th to the 8th, they checked in again at this campsite. This is not a situation, as to what I'm understanding. Some people who have RVs and stuff like that will buy, for the season. They will have a season membership. I don't think that's the case. I think that would have come up. Some people were saying that's weird with the situation. From a camping perspective and an RV person perspective, it's not a weird thing to go 2 weekends in a row to a campground if you have a camper. With the whole situation around it, that's weird. But people were saying, oh, him going twice is just weird in general. I will say that I know plenty of people who go RVing and they go every weekend, especially in the summer. They go every weekend to enjoy, especially at that point. September would be kind of towards the end of like summer season. They're going all the time and enjoying. But the timing is very strange. I will completely agree with you. Anton Daniels just joined in the chat. Welcome. Yeah, this whole thing is really strange. Nina says, Kay Briggs, great question. Camping? Yep. And Kay completely agrees. Yes, timing is very suspect. It's super, super, super strange circumstances. It's very strange circumstances. According to now the media, they're saying that it's been confirmed that his mom checked in at this campground from the 6th to the 8th. So it's really interesting. Also, like I said before, for those people who are new, if you guys want to join in and speak with me real time on this stream, you can. All you have to do is click that Zoom link that I posted a little bit earlier, and that'll take you live with me. I won't be showing anybody's faces, but your voices will be live if you want to join. But I would love to hear anybody else's ideas and thoughts. And it says, I'm sorry, you don't go camping while your whole life is upside down. Oh, please. Technically, their whole lives were not yet upside down because Gabby was not reported missing until, I want to say, the 11th. So technically, their lives were not yet completely upside down if you want to look at the grand scheme of things. It's one of those things. It's one of those things. You know, it's one of those things. It's hard because it's like when you see me saying these things, for anybody who's new here, I don't ever want to assume anybody's guilt. I don't think it's my job to assume anybody's guilt. I think there's a lot of people who are maintaining and saying that people are guilty, certainly 100%, for things that they haven't even been officially indicted on. And to me, I believe that I am not judge, jury, or executioner. It's not my place to say anybody's guilty. So in my stream, you'll see me playing a little bit of devil's advocate, and a little bit of the backup when it comes to the speculation, just because I don't want to assume anybody's guilty. Does it look good? No. It doesn't look good. But I keep a little bit of a level of neutrality, shall I say. So, this dog thing though has really got me torn. I don't know about you guys, but it's really got me torn. It's driving me a little bit crazy. Kay says, I'm open to the possibility of his innocence, but yeah, it doesn't look good. I'm just laughing at the next comment. And it says, but wait, Brian came back by himself. I would definitely say maybe a little upside down. That's fair. That is totally fair. It definitely would be a little upside down if you came back by yourself on a trip. But I'll put it this way. If I let me play devil's advocate a little bit. To me, it could look really guilty, but also if this is somebody who maybe clears their mind, like I'm putting it from a different perspective. Somebody comes back, maybe somebody comes back from a trip, they're not with their girlfriend anymore. That's really weird. It's really weird that he did this, right? But at the end of the day, if let's say your happy place or the place that you can unwind and think about things and get some perspective is going camping, then you're gonna go camping. For some people, it's camping. For some people, it's art. Some people I know it's riding a motorcycle. Some people it's vlogging. Some people it's singing in the shower, sitting in the shower for an hour. Different people have different ways of clearing their head and readjusting. And if this was a case, let's say that a couple is fighting and they're sick of being together and you're gonna go a little stir crazy. I couldn't imagine sharing an RV with somebody 24/7. That's the whole thing is crazy. If I did a trip, I would do it by myself because I'm gonna be alone with me and my thoughts and give a phone call whenever I want to and do whatever I want to, because you're gonna go crazy in that tiny little car. No, sounds like a bad idea. But if somebody's having a fight, let's say, and if this was a different situation, it could have been that you know Gabby and Brian said F you to each other. I want you long gone, and I'm gonna stay over here and you go. I don't want you here, go. I want to enjoy my trip. That's a possibility. And if he needed time to cool off and he needed to do the thing that he does the best that makes him cool off is camping, then maybe it's not so weird if he went camping. There's so many possibilities here. There's so many things that could have happened. And again, it comes down to, I don't want to assume anybody's guilt. But to me it's anything can be explained, I think. And there's a million things that anybody could say and a million reasons why somebody would do something. But to me, I know a lot of people who that's their rest and recuperation is going camping, going RVing. I know that I love RVing. I will join, family of mine out at their RV, and that's one of my happiest times is going RVing with my family and having a good time and chilling out. I get to have a little perspective. I get to calm down. I disconnect because the service really isn't out there because we're in the middle of freaking nowhere, and you disconnect and you get to reflect a lot. It's so a place that I've done a lot of really good reflecting was RVing and camping. So it really depends on the person. Anything can be explained at any point. But like I said, phone lines open. Somebody wants to join in, you can. If anybody else has anything that I haven't talked about yet, that's been happening lately, I would love for you guys to bring it up. I've been keeping a handle on things pretty closely. So, but I doubt. Oh, one update that we did get today was that yesterday I was reporting that um oh, okay, I'm going to say this really quick and then I'll get to the comment. Um Yesterday somebody dropped off flowers at the laundry's home. And oh, there's two things that I haven't talked about actually. Yesterday somebody dropped off flowers at the laundry home, and some people were saying that it was kind of an attempt to start a makeshift memorial by sending flowers. Multiple were doing that. Now it's being reported that by like the government, like the actual like local government in their area, that essentially if people aren't sending flowers and stuff to the actual official Gabby Memorial out in town, that they're gonna basically get thrown away. And then they also announced the local government also announced that they're gonna put something in her honor at the local park where they're having the memorial. They were talking about putting a bench in her honor, so that was really nice. The I believe it was the mayor that I saw a video of announcing it, and she did seem very emotional. So that was really sweet. It seemed very genuine from her part. Um, Nina says, "Okay, I'm gonna also play devil's advocate. Did anyone feel perhaps Gabby hitting Brian while he was driving? It's a bit strange, also." Yeah, it was strange. They both had different accounts as to what happened. Brian said that she pulled on the wheel, and Gabby said that she punched him in the arm. So it's two different accounts as to what happened. I think that whole thing was very strange. Um, it there are a lot of ways that that could be explained. There are a lot of things that could have happened. She explained it as she was kind of like, "Oh, you're an idiot," and punched him in the arm. Um, I don't think it's ever right to hit somebody, even as a jest. I don't think we should be doing that. I think there's a lot of women who think that they can, put their hands on a man because he's a man and he shouldn't hit her back. Um, I think that's wrong in our society. I see jokes about it all the time. Women joking about hitting guys, and I think that's fucked up. Um, but I think the whole situation is weird. Kate chimed in and said Brian also had scratches on his face when they were pulled over by police. Yeah, he had some scratches on his arm and stuff. I will say, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate, it could have been either of them that started this. And who's to say that, maybe Gabby started it? Or maybe those were defensive scratches that Gabby did. Maybe he cornered her. There was the 911 call that came out afterwards, and that in the 911 call, the bystander said that he had hit her. Like the bystander said that that they watched Brian. Um, I don't know if it was punching or smacking Gabby in the parking lot of Moonflower. So it really could have been anybody who started it. There's been a lot to say that um that, people who are analyzing this are jumping to that she was being abused, as Nina said. I really feel like she was being abused, but we don't know how. I'm not sure if there was more that was supposed to be there. But it's very possible. And again, it's like I'm not gonna I think that they're in my opinion, I think they had their relationship based on the body cam. That was a very toxic moment in their relationship. I'm not gonna assume that their entire relationship was bad. I'm not gonna assume that one was abusing the other. Either of them could have been the abuser. It um you know it it's one of those things that we might never know, and it's really sad. But based on the accounts of people close to her, allegedly close to her, they were saying that Brian was bad news, and that their relationship was not a good one, and that it was Brian who was the insider of things. So it's very possible that he was very abusive to her. It's very possible that they were both very abusive. It's possible that she was abusive. I'm not gonna assume anybody's doing anything. You know what I mean? That's the other part of it is, a lot of people automatically assume that the guy is the abuser, and in this situation it was kind of glossed over because of his when the police came in, it was kind of glossed over. They kind of immediately saw that he was the calm one, and she immediately what's the word? She admitted guilt to hitting him, and never said anything about him hitting her, even though there was eyewitness accounts. Um, either way, it doesn't look good for anybody, and it's kind of a mess. And it's really, really a sad situation. Um, it's such a sad situation, and I wish that the cops would have been made aware of him hitting her, and I wish that the whole truth could have come out in that body cam when the police were out there. But shoulda, coulda, woulda, and we can't change the past, and I'm not gonna blame the cops for what happened, as so many people are, which I think is wrong. And we don't. That's the thing, is we just don't know. We at the end of the day, we don't know who was who. I can agree, and I can disagree. So the comment is, if he doesn't have anything to hide, he should have spoken to police. Um, I think, well, that's what a lot of people want to jump to. And legally, morally, yeah, it is the right thing to do. It is 100% the right thing to do, is go to talk to police. It would have been 100% the right thing to do if you would have, from the get said, I don't know where she's at, and cooperated with police, cooperated with her parents. That's what he should have, legally, morally speaking, been doing. But I it's I'm going into the devil's advocate a little bit again. Even if let me put it in different terms. I think we all have that gut moment, even if we're not doing anything wrong, and let's say we're driving in the car, or we're going through TSA, and we're not doing anything wrong. We're a law abiding citizen, and we haven't done anything wrong. But you see that cop, come up, or you see, you're kind of going through TSA, and you're just like, oh, I hope, I'm not doing anything wrong, and you start getting that anxiety, of, oh gosh, I hope I don't, get pulled over. Is that cop for me, or are they going to say something to me? What did I do wrong? And there have been cases of wrongdoings on the side of police, and there have been so many cases of people admitting to things that they didn't actually do, and just because of the pressure, and you're sitting there for hours on end with going cuckoo bananas. And so the police can be very scary, And I can see why somebody would want to run even if they're innocent. I could see why somebody would be scared of, justice not prevailing properly and something hinky happens. It's not uncommon. It does happen. Should he, morally speaking, have talked to police? Yes. I'm not excusing him doing that. I'm just saying I can see where anybody might run. It's the fight or flight response. Some people fight and some people, run. At this point, I think Brian should just turn himself in, because it's at this point he's making a mess for himself, and it's gonna be a lot worse when they finally catch him. But it's it's such a messy situation. It's such an absolute mess of a situation. Um, Again, I'm not excusing Brian. I'm not excusing Brian for running and hiding and whatever else he might have done that is legal. Um, but um, I can see where a lot of people, even if they are innocent, might run because they're just scared, and they're scared that that things are not gonna prevail on their side, even if they aren't completely innocent. Um, it's just one of those things. I don't know if you guys have any other opinions on that, or anything else you guys want to talk about. Like I said, the phone lines are open, so if you guys want to chime in on Zoom, I'll add you guys in. We can talk. You'll only be shown your voice, not anything, not your face or anything. So you don't have to feel weird about that. I think people are a little nervous to jump on, but that's okay. Let's see. Anything else? I think at one point today, the Laundries did leave their home on their own. No news as to where they were going or anything, or what was up. I don't know if they've gone back yet or not. Let me think. What else has been going on today? I guess I did miss some notes to write down, but I do remember what happened. Let's see. Yeah, it's just been such a weird time, such a weird day. I haven't heard. Is his mom Cuban? I did not. I've never heard that before. I'm gonna look that up. Thank you for joining the chat. Um, Zarp just joined and put out a comment, and I'm gonna look into this. Saying, and what, like I said, welcome to the chat. I think he made his way to Cuba. His mom is Cuban, so he probably had a family there, and they have no extradition treaty. That's interesting. Um, let's see. I feel like nobody is talking about this. Also, random thing that I just remembered, somebody like sent Uber Eats, like McDonald's, to their house and they never grabbed it. I think somebody was just doing it to make them look bad. I was just trying to find it, and it just says, all it says is that Brian Laundrie ethnicity. Brian holds American ethnicity. His parents are American. In this blog, you knew all the details of Brian Laundrie ethnicity, parents, wiki, biography, age missing, net worth, and more. That's so bad. I don't see anything though that says his anything about his mom being Cuban. But I mean, who knows? Literally, who knows? Um, all it says is that his I almost said his mom is Christopher. His mom's Roberta, his dad's Christopher. And I love it. They said Brian. They said Brian. They said her instead of his. Um, are business people and run their own commercial business of juicing equipment, and has a sister named Cassie. I love how it's like nobody has that information. But I mean, it's possible. There's a lot of allegations that he got on a boat, and left somewhere. Could have gone anywhere at this point. I mean, he could have gone anywhere a long time ago, right? There's been so many allegations of him taking a plane, of him getting on a boat, of him getting on a kayak, of him, um, literally, it's like planes, trains, and automobiles over here, with no real idea of anything in particular. So I think things are getting a little closer. I'm gonna hope Dog the Bounty Hunter's lead is a good one, and that it gets passed over to law enforcement where they can do things properly, and hopefully his lead doesn't taint the investigation. Um, but it's a little bit of a mess. It's a lot of bit of a mess, actually. Like I said, just gonna bring it up again in case anybody wants to join on. The phone lines are open. All you have to do is join me on Zoom. I'm gonna throw that link up again in case anybody wants to join. Let's see here. Doesn't seem like the full link. Open link in new tab. Hopefully this doesn't get weird. All right. Let's see here. Like I said, oh, no, let's not do that part. Come on. If anybody wants to join, you can. Here's that Zoom link. But yeah, it's a really difficult situation. Mm, 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 mm. I'd love to hear what you have to say, Zarp, about. Have you seen the stuff that came out with Dog the Bounty Hunter? What he's saying his lead is and what he's pursuing. It's so funny thinking about all this again. About Dog the Bounty Hunter coming back into the limelight a little bit. It's so funny. Apparently he almost had like a new TV show. Like random side note. But yeah, it's been a wild ride. All right, guys. It's been a little bit over an hour. I am gonna take the last few comments. So if anybody wants to call in, you can. The phone lines are open. Like I said, you got that Zoom link right there if you want to call in and talk about the whole Gabby situation, about the new stuff that's been going on, whether that's the Dog the Bounty Hunter stuff, the new press conference, or any of that stuff, you can. The next few minutes we don't really get too much going on, then I'm probably gonna head out just because it's been a really long day and I'm really tired. It's already getting to that point of the night. So I'm gonna take this moment real quick while you guys let out your comments if you guys want to join the Zoom call, to remind you that I'm going to continue live streaming probably every weeknight, and I will eventually start talking about other missing persons cases. I know I was just told about the new case, um, the new missing persons case in that kind of area, and that's um kind of close-ish. It was happened in Orlando, but so there is a new case, and the girl's name is Maya Marcano. She went missing in the Orlando area, so I'm probably going to start covering that really soon. If you guys are interested in hearing more about missing persons cases, if you guys are interested in keeping up to date with Gabby's case, and also I'm going to start doing as well some missing person cases that have been solved and the people have come home, just so that we can have a little bit of light here, and a little bit of a good feeling, because I think that we need it. And I'm going to continue to do missing persons cases and give light to people who need it, and families who need it. So if you guys are interested in that, I hope that you stick around. I hope you subscribe and hit the bell for all notifications, so that you know when I'm going to be going live again and talking to you guys about these cases. um so yeah, I think with that all being said, it doesn't seem like there's much more going on. Um, and he says, yes, absolutely. I will also be doing the stream from a different software next time. So hopefully, you'll get a much better experience. We're trying to get little bit by little bit better every time. Sarp says, I saw dog's investigation. I think it's legitimate. I believe Brian was there, and he took a boat somewhere else. Who takes a camping trip right after going on a cross country road trip? I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Um, I don't know. I've personally seen wacky stuff like that. It's possible. Anything is possible, right? Um, it doesn't look good. Does not look good. But weirder things have happened. What is people love to say, uh truth is stranger than fiction, and it really, really can be. So we don't know. Um Again, since you're new here, Zarb, I mean, you're new to commenting, so thanks. Um but I personally try really hard to stay very neutral in this situation, and I try to remain with the law of the land, which is that you're innocent until proven guilty. Um, I'm not judge, jury, or executioner, and so I try to stay very, very neutral, because that is, that is our God-given inalienable rights in this country, as per the Constitution. It's and the laws of our land. So I try my best to maintain that I'm not gonna say that anybody's guilty, because it's not my place. So that's my stance on that. I know a lot of people are running rampant, who are fellow YouTubers, who are immediately saying opinions and acting as if certain things are facts. Um, Zarb says no one believes that family is crazy. I mean, you can say what you'd like. I'm not gonna say that anybody's crazy. I don't think it's um I don't think it's cool, just because mental illness, man. Um, Zarp says, you're better than me. He looks very guilty, but I know what you mean. Thank you. Um, some people are very quick to anger about my position, so I appreciate it. I appreciate you just staying cool about it, and getting my perspective on it. And it's how I'd wanna it's how I think everybody should be treated. At the end of the day, no matter how guilty somebody looks, we should give them the opportunity, and the justice system the opportunity to sort it out. And you know what? At the end of the day, there's some people who have looked incredibly guilty, who have been ridiculously innocent, and there's some people who looked incredibly innocent, who were ridiculously guilty. Um, you know, Things happen, and so that it all kind of goes into it, right? Project Achieva is back. What is up? Thank you for joining me again 2 nights in a row. What is up? Nina's also a 2 night in a row person for me. What is up? Um Project Achieva said, "People laugh at dog, but police flew chopper in search patterns last night over the campground." I'm actually going to delete your comment just because I'm trying really hard not to put the name of the campground out. Not anything against you, Project Achieva. It was a very good comment. I just am trying really hard, even though it is public knowledge to an extent, what the campground is. I am trying really hard not to add to that chaos because there's already a huge media circus and a ton of people out there who are just regular civilians who want to get part of the action, and I just personally don't want to add to that. So nothing against you. Project Diva said so they took it seriously, and yes, hi again. But yeah, welcome again. And like I said, nothing against you. I'm just trying not to add to that craziness. Um, Matt says, "Good evening, friends. Everyone knows where the campsite is. LOL." I know, and I understand. I know that it's on the news. I know that it's easily like you could look it up and find out. I just don't feel morally sound adding to that chaos. If you want to look it up, that's on you. Please don't. Don't add to it. If you know about it, don't talk about it. It's just it's giving people so many. I'm sorry if I'm like getting cut out of the frame. Um, it's it at the end of the day, to me it's just adding to the craziness, and there's so many reports now. I mean, how many people were flooding the Laundrie's home and taking photos from literally out of state all over the freaking country just to take a picture with somebody's house? What the hell? What kind of ridiculousness is that? Could you imagine if somebody showed up at your house and was just taking photos? Oh my god, this is so and so's house. Like, that's fucking weird. Like, especially it's an active investigation. What the hell? Like, who does that? Um, Let me see. Project Shiba. I'm wondering if you're asking me if I'm in Florida or if Matt's in Florida. I'm not in Florida, but I'm from Florida, so I know kind of the layout of the land. Um, Matt says, "So you don't believe in the investigation over those, so we can't talk about it." That's not right. I never said that. We can fully talk about the investigation over there. We can fully talk about it. I've been talking about it. You missed it, bud. But I went really in depth into what Dog was doing and the whole situation, the whole nine. I've just been not saying the actual name of the place just because I don't want to add to that. Zarp says, "Why wouldn't Brian's family respond to Gabby's family? He didn't answer their calls or messages for 2 weeks, and now he's gone. It's very suspect." I'm not saying it's not weird. I'm not saying it's not suspicious at all. Um, I'm like I said, just staying neutral. But it can be taken as very suspicious. I mean, even if I don't know, Zarb, if you saw I played it earlier, but I don't know if you saw the press conference that all her parents gave, but one of them was saying that, you know, Brian's it was such a like I feel like the same person was just like digging at people the whole time and it was kind of great. But he literally was like he actually nobody talked about this, but one of the parents actually like rolled his eyes during the press conference when I don't know if it was Brian or Brian's family, can't remember now, but one of them was mentioned and he rolled his eyes. Nobody was talking about that, but that was hilarious to me. And then afterwards, but then afterwards, he called out Brian's parents. 'Cause somebody asked like something about Brian's family. One of the news stations asked something about his family, and they were like, now I don't remember if it was one of his parents or if it was the attorney, but I'm pretty sure it was one of his parents that said his his parents haven't cooperated in the search for Gabby. Or yeah, they haven't cooperated in the search for Gabby. So what makes you think that they're gonna cooperate um in the search for Brian? Like, and I was just like, damn. He also called out the media a little bit. It was kind of great. Uh let's see. I think I missed a message. Zarp said, I saw that eye roll. They all know. And then he's, they're kind of accusing Brian. I mean, I'm sure they all believe that. I could understand why they believe that. Matt said, troll, bye. That's fair. That is fair. Usually I got my troll patrol with me. My friend Wildcat, we have a joke and we call him Troll Patrol. But he's not here tonight, so I'll be solo troll patrol today. Solo trollo, if you will, I guess. Yeah. Bye trolls. It's all good though. It's gonna happen. There are so many dang trolls in the WFLA one. People are getting really gross again. Like every day. It was really gross. I don't understand where people like, especially when you go on a newscast. I'm gonna go on like a slight tangent for like a second, but I don't know why people go on a news broadcast with like 54,000 people watching and commenting. And they expect that like they're gonna get a rise out of somebody. Like nobody on the news team is gonna acknowledge that you're being gross. Like nobody's gonna even bother like deleting your comment because there's 54,000 freaking people in there. Like nobody's gonna notice you. It's so weird. I don't know what people like think is gonna happen. It's really dumb to me. Matt said, "You got this." And said, "Yeah, but that was verbal assault." Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're on a chat with only a couple people. I delete them really fast. They don't really get a rise out of me anymore. Um, I've been doing live streams for years on Twitch and stuff. So I've honestly had way worse. So it is what it is. I don't really care. Matt said, I'm just teasing you. Yeah, I know. But yeah, does anybody else have any comments, thoughts, opinions on the Gabby case? Cause we can talk about it. If not, I'm gonna hit the hay. And I will be back again. Sorry tonight was a little bit late. Probably like 2 days a week. I'm gonna have a later stream. Just because I have other stuff going on. I think tomorrow is gonna be maybe a really short stream or gonna be a really late stream. I'm not 100% sure what's going on tomorrow. Matt said, it's been a rough day. I can tell you're tired. You're right. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm tired. It's been a rough day. It's been a long day. And it's getting to that point. It's my bedtime. Almost my bedtime. So I think I'm gonna head out. I hope you guys all enjoyed the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Thank you again to Matt for jumping in. Matt has been here. Bryden, thank you, Matt, for joining. Thank you, Zarp, for joining in. First time viewer. Thank you so much for commenting. I appreciate all your comments. Thank you to Project Achieva for joining in again today. Thank you to Nina. Thank you to Kay Briggs for joining in. Thank you to Anton Daniels and everybody else who's joined in. I think I got everybody and my best friend. Thank you for joining me too. So thank you guys. Oh my god. Black Sheep just what? Black Sheep just jumped on with like something crazy. What is going on? What do you mean? What are you talking about? What is this crazy rumor? I don't see anything about that. Are you okay, Black Sheep? I'm actually heading out. I don't know what's going on. But if you want to give me some details, you can in the comments. I'm heading out for the night. I will see you guys really soon. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell if you guys want to keep up to date with my live streams. I'm not really sure what time I'll be streaming tomorrow, but I'm gonna be streaming pretty much daily 6:30 otherwise. So I will see you guys then. Bye guys. Stay safe.